Hey, what's up, Gabrielle? This is a demo video for you for your Desert Wanderer. This is a saber that's made by KR Sabers, but you bought it through Corbanth. It is installed the CFX that you wanted. It's a 2-button setup. So this small greebly here up front will be your power switch, and this greebly here in the back will be your auxiliary. You can see those right there. All right. You've got a Carl Chen PCB in here for your Neopixel holder. You have 2 different emitters that will come with this guy. They just screw right on. Okay, for now, for the sake of this demo, I've got the one that gives you the extra blade length. It's the one that you're supposed to use when you put a blade in it, right? So you get that little bit of extra piece right there. But of course, you've got the one that you could put on for display purposes. It will be in your box, and it just looks like that, right? So it's just missing the lip right there. All right. How to get to your chassis is you just want to unscrew the pommel. This grenade section will unscrew if you're not careful too, although I did hand tighten it pretty well. You just want to take off the pommel. All right, that's all you need to do. If this happens to come off, it's not a big deal. You can just put it back, but it doesn't need to come off for anything. All right, but when we take that off, you'll see a piece of your chassis here. What you want to do is grab this and pull it straight out. Don't twist it. All right, just pull it straight out. Take your time. When you buy this saber from KR Sabers, Cal includes a PCB that's got the 2 switches on it, as you and I discussed, right? Because I had asked you to reach out to Corbanth and let them know they forgot the PCB and see if I could get it sent. But you got an email back from them saying that they don't offer it. So I had to go through and I modified my chassis a bit. My old chassis has a space here where I can just set that PCB right in it and it works fine. On this one, I had to go in and modify it just to hold 2 small tactile switches. So that's what you've got there for your switches. You've got a removable battery set up. I won't be sending you a battery because I'm sending this to Italy. But this takes an 18650 keep power battery. All right, it's got a protected cell 18650. That's the important part. It doesn't have to be a keep power necessarily, although that's what I recommend. All right, it's using the Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set. So you've got this PCB in here on the tip of your chassis. That makes contact. It's not going to show up in the light. Maybe if I can shine my phone flashlight on it. There, now you can see it. Makes contact with that PCB set in there, and that doesn't come out. All right, typically that is a 14-pin PCB, although this one is 11. I left 3 of the pins out because those 3 pins are for the switches. There's a power, an auxiliary switch, and a common ground. I left those out. Those pins are expensive. They are not used because the switches are in the chassis. So that's why I left them off that PCB. It doesn't affect the functionality at all. All right. So yeah, that's what you've got there. You have a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker, and it's very recessed down into this guy, so it makes the saber nice and loud. You've got your CFX board right here, so easy access to your SD card. You can pop it in and out with your finger just like that, no problem. And then if you wanted to get to your micro USB, you could do that from right here as well, and you don't have to move the board. All right. For now, it just has the stock font packages on it. You'll upload your own font, so this is just to show you that it works. We'll take our battery, spring size our negative over here, put a battery in. You got your boot up. So when you put this in the saber, you need to make sure that your switch channel that I've got right here is lined up with your actual switches on your saber. All right. And when you do that and they're lined up right, this thing will slide in, and it will slide in all the way. Take your time and push it in all the way until it goes right there. The actual pommel will come through when we screw it on, and it will push the chassis all the way forward so that it makes contact with those 11 pins. And now we can come over here and hit our power switch. Got your LEDs in there firing up. I'll show you how to change that that color in a moment. But auxiliary back here. This saber is just screaming. We'll turn it off, okay? I'm going to put a test blade in here, although this is set up for a full-length blade. I just like to test my sealing is at an angle right here that you can't see off camera, or on camera rather, and if I use a full-length blade, 9 times out of 10 I hit it. So these work very well for demos. This is a TriStar blade I got from Space Windu over at Civilized Sabers. You have 3 blade retentions in this emitter. For this demo, I'm just going to use 1, but depending on how hard you want to swing this guy around, you may want to go ahead and use all 3. So, you know, you've got 1 there, another there, and the third one right there, and they're evenly spaced, of course. All right, but when we lock that blade in, if you want to change color, hold down Aux and twist the saber.
Spectrum.
And now we can just find whatever we want. So if we want blue for this guy, we passed it once. There we go. Hit power. Now we have a blue blade. Right. So, you know, blaster bolts is just tapping on the aux switch. And then blade lockup is holding the aux switch down. Good flash on class. To change sound fonts, we want to hold down the aux button until we hear this.
Sound bank selection.
Night 4.
You can use either button to cycle up and down the menu.
Crystal focus. Crystal focus.
Nebula. Nebula.
When you find one you like, hold the button down. And then this is Nebula. This is going to be a red blade also with a slow ignition. Now, although it may not be as easy to tell on a small test blade, you also have several different blade profiles on here. What we'll do to get to those is we'll hold down the aux and twist the saber like we would to change color, but we'll keep the button held down until we hear blade profiles. Keep holding it.
Blade profile.
Now you can twist the saber again, and you can go through different blade effects. When you find one you like, just again tap the power button. So that one gave us it's a little bit of a green fire blade unstable thing with a white tracer on the ignition, right? Just like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out of here and then go over taking the battery out, which is super easy to do. Let me just unscrew this real quick. Pop the blade out, and again, we'll want to come over here and take our pummel off. Remember, take the chassis and pull it straight out. It's important that you don't turn it, just like that. And then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by the PCB, you should be able to pop it out with your finger just like that. And that's basically your Desert Wanderer. So let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'm going to package this guy up and get a shipping label made for you and let you know what that is. All right, thanks.